Good morning. So welcome to the Homesteading. I am Jamie and we are going to do a quick little garden tour and see what we got going on here in the middle of September in Texas. And our temps are still getting up to 94 and 95 where the feels like's 100. So I just got back from school run. We're going to get this done early in the morning where it's still 75 degrees outside, which is amazing. That's where we get to feel fall weather, is early in the morning, and then that's about it. So let's get right into it. You'll see this loveliness right here. I'll show you close up. Look at that. Is a roselle hibiscus. And then there's the little pods, or the calyx, that grows up, and they'll get a lot bigger than that. See, they're not quite as big as my thumb yet. Well, they get huge, and then we harvest them, and then we turn that into the pink tea, or the pink drink that people use. It's called Jamaica, and it is so good and delicious. So I have actually got 2 bushes right here. And they are, well, this one is over 6 foot tall. This one's a little behind for some reason. And then it is literally right next to a pear tree as well. So I just grow these annually. These will die back after the frost. And then I just regrow them each year to get our supply of the roselle hibiscus. And then there's another pear tree here, and it's got rust or something on it. I need to look up what's going on with it, and we need to treat it and figure out what's happening. This one's not looking near as good as the other one, so if you know what that is going on those leaves, let me know. And then we have our little forest of okra, and this one should be perfect. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it off one-handed, but you see how big that is. This is longhorn okra, and this should be perfect to cut up and throw in my freezer. And there is the rest of it. And this part has seen better days. I need to get out here and take all these weeds out because they're going to seed. And we have some lovely elderberries growing again. And I haven't even harvested them this year because I have a bunch from last year, so I'm sure all the animals love having that. And look, that's what they look like. Just hiding under here in my banana trees. And these banana trees are just absolutely gorgeous. But I have not seen a flower spike yet. I did keep them from dying back. So I was hoping I could get them to flower. So we still should have a couple of months before a freeze. But we did have an early one last year, and that was on Halloween. So hopefully not, and maybe we'll get a flower spike, at least get the flower spike. I don't know if we'll get enough time to make bananas, but I'm hoping to wrap these again and keep them from dying back. So maybe we can get bananas next year. Truly, this has become my little forest garden type thing. Aren't they pretty? And I cannot for the life of me remember what the heck this is. It'll come to me later, maybe in editing. But it's growing really good here. And it's got just those lovely flowers. And then I was reading about it the other day. They actually give off a berry that tastes like apple. Oh, I see one. Look. I didn't even know they fruit. Oh, and that came off real easy. So I'm going to taste it. Super cool. I planted this just knowing it was pretty because a friend of mine gave it to me. And I knew it was native. Maybe not native, but it definitely probably is native because it can grow anywhere around here. But just this teeny tiny fruit is supposed to taste like apple. I saw that it wasn't supposed to be as sweet as apple, so let's see. It definitely has an apple taste. So it does have little tiny seeds in it. That's so cool. I didn't even remember. Didn't even know that was going to be there. So cute, little appleberry snack. Let's see what else we can find. Even see it. This part of the yard is kind of grown up and looking a bit cray-cray, but it seems to be doing good. This is my prickly pear, and I have to go through and hand weed this so we don't damage it. Oh, look, there's an old leaf. But look from the side. They're really soft right now, but then when they get to this side, you don't want them. Oh, look. That's the eggs of... Y'all, it's too early for my brain. I just know I want those eggs because that's a good bug. I recognize the eggs. But it's growing good, and it's just kind of out here on its own, doing its own thing, and I just randomly come through and mow a bit with my hands so I don't damage it. I did have mulch, but that mulch did not last long around here. Look at the tiny little toad. He's like the size of a fingernail. So cute. Another area we come through and have to hand weed. I don't know what this is, but I find it all over our yard. And this is coming from about 20 feet that way. So let me know down in the comments if you recognize what this is. But in here somewhere is the last bits of the clematis. So I will come through and clean all this up. Look, we even got a tree growing in here, y'all. We had issues with lawnmowers this year. So my son spent a lot of time weed eating things. So it is going to take some work to get certain areas. Like usually I just weed eat around here. And then I just hand do. There's actually like bricks right there. But this has been, I don't know, crazy this year. Trying to take care of things. But all the way up, that's 25 feet in the air, is our wild muscadine grapes and a lizard that's living in that. And I'm really happy to see that they are so big again because somebody accidentally chopped them down, not knowing what they were, thinking they were helping, so they survived. Really excited to see this tree growing up. I hate that it's right by my house, but that is a choke cherry, and I didn't even know they existed until I saw how weird the bark looked. And I need to figure out what all we can do with choke cherry. So if you know, let me know. This little tower thing that sister and I built, you can see just the tiniest babies. And those are our holy basil or tulsi popping up. So I'm really excited. I hope they do good because we need to get a harvest of that. Goodness gracious, we have all kinds of things going on in here. And somehow these silly things got in my bed, and I absolutely hate these silver dollar weeds. And then I hate this weed as well. But do you see something else in here? You gotta, because it's everywhere. And this does look very similar to that weed here. But this is purslane. And I really like harvesting purslane. And we wash it up and I chop it up. And I freeze it and I throw it in soups and hot dishes right at the end during the winter. And just kind of cook it tiny bit. I don't want it to be mush. I like it to have some texture, and that adds a whole bunch of vitamins. I know it's got vitamin C, like magnesium, vitamins, and all kinds of things going on. But you can see I planted some of those really old seeds, and I have got carrots coming up. So I'm so excited about that. And this bed has just went crazy. There was literally nothing here but one purslane plant right there where it's bigger. So I'm gonna come through here in just a bit and weed all of this. And I have a cute little volunteer zinnia coming up for the fall. And we'll harvest some purslane. I have already let some go to seed. I will let this go to seed so it keeps going in my pots up here and in this bed, and then I just harvest it and clean it and put it up, and then we can use it. But I definitely need to mulch this bed, but I'm kind of reluctant to because I've got little tiny carrots in there, but I need to reseed. I can see there's very spotty where they've germinated. There's some in here hiding, which this purslane seems to be doing a good job because like I said, I have 90-degree temperatures and I've got carrots growing, which usually doesn't happen for me. Sure, y'all heard the dogs barking. They are not used to me coming home and not going back in the house. They were not happy about that. But let's go check out back. Oh wow, I came and checked on these just a couple of days ago. And this is the leeks. They weren't even up, y'all. They shot up huge, and I was really worried about my germination. But it looks like we've got quite a few germinating. So I'll just tease those apart and up pot them if I need to, or just transplant them out. And look, there's one teeny tiny garlic chive. We've actually got thyme coming up and oregano. Don't see any Russian tarragon. Oh, something. It looked like my dill was there, but it got murdered. Maybe I need to move the. Maybe it got too much sun. Let me know if that's what you think, because they popped up, but they're laid over, and this soil is still damp, so it's got to be that. So maybe I'll scoot it to that end of the table. Celery isn't up. That probably could use more water. Parsley, hyssop isn't up. Cauliflower isn't up. The broccolis are not up. Both of those were old seeds, so it doesn't surprise me. And then we have Jersey cabbage and Napa cabbage. Of course, I overseeded and all of them came up in that one. And this one looks like it's dampening off. Look at that. So I got one dampening off. So I'm going to just yank that out of there. We do have a red Brussels sprout, 2 red Brussels sprouts. None of the green ones because it's old seed, I guess. Hi, Betty Boo. Hi, sweet girl. Then we have artichoke. 1 artichoke out of the at least 3 that I planted. And no coneflower. But the Agasachi hummingbird mint is coming up. So that's awesome. So I think I will just move it over here, and I'm going to make sure I top water the ones that don't have seeds coming up, because a lot of these are just planted right on the top. Well, hopefully some of that dill will come up. If it doesn't in the next couple of days, I'm going to come back and re-sow seeds anyway. So we're just going to make sure that's good and bottom watered for these ones here, because we're going to have another hot day. And let's go look at some other things. Look at it, isn't she beautiful? Oh, I love her. This is one of my plumerias, and she is showing off. I really hope you can see that there's just a faint pink line right there. And I don't know what these are called, so I just call it a candy stripe. But look, it's darker on that side, and it is just gorgeous with yellow, and then it goes darker pinky orange in the middle, because the spikes come up pink, which I just think are absolutely amazing. So I really need to find out this variety. And it looks like this one's spiking up real good too, so all of these plumerias are doing good. But that one did bloom last year, and then my yellows bloomed last year. But I do have some in here that just are kind of being stubborn to bloom. And that rooster has got all kinds of things to say. Look, this one was the yellow where its flower spike is still there. So that's good. I haven't even done anything with this. This one's just been hiding, doing its own thing. Sowed itself, I guess, or I sowed it early in spring and don't remember what it is anymore, but whatevs. Let's see. This is that lovely variegated pink lemon that I have. And they always say that the citrus is okay in this zone, but this plant is definitely not. But look, how cool is that? A variegated lemon. And then we have another bigger one here. Just love it. And this is some sort of basil. I think it's the lime basil that we have, and it's going to seed. So I'll come through and collect some more seed of that. The papayas are struggling. I know by this time last year, or 2 years ago actually, that I had fruit on my papayas. And I don't know if it's a fertilize issue or what. Oh, I do see that little spoon shaped thing between the branches? That is going to be a female flower. So these two, the bigger ones right here, are actually hermaphrodite trees, so they can self-pollinate. And I do see some more coming up in here as well, so that is awesome. And then I have my tallest plumeria over here because my mother plant got murdered, and I've never seen a bloom off of this. Don't know, I bought my mother plant for my plumeria, I don't know, 15 years ago, something like that. And it was in a section for pink, but it ended up being a yellow and white. But I've loved that and been able to do trades and stuff with it. But my husband found a guy that prunes them for somebody else. So I got all the offcuts and I rooted them up and made plants for myself with all of those offcuts. And I literally just put some root and hormone on them and stick them in dirt and don't water them too much, and they just grow and root, and they are amazing and easy to care for here in Texas. Hey guys, I think we might finally get some squash of some sort. I have no idea, but the leaf on this is massive. It's probably like 8 of my hands wide, and yes, this is getting damaged. But I do not want to take this off because the chickens will do a lot worse. And we planted this not long ago. And I was hoping I could see, oh, I see some flowers. So I have a horrible time with vine borers and chickens. And those vines down there look absolutely flawless. So I'm wondering, this is about 1.5 inches square, if maybe having this on here makes it where the moth can't get to it to lay its eggs to eat my plant. So that's definitely something I want to keep track of. And we do have some other little things in here. I don't even remember what all we have going on, but they're coming up. I think it was kohlrabi. But I just kind of ran through here and planted out a bunch of seeds and didn't even bother labeling, which I do not recommend. But, you know, if it's that or not planting, I'd rather you not plant. And those silly chickens, I had so many beans up in here. They must be standing here and squishing their head as far as they can in here. Y'all, what am I gonna do? We gotta do something about them chickens. And this marigold has just gone crazy. The tomato plant's gone crazy. This one was from spring, and somehow it survived. And it's just kind of, it should have been caged, but I didn't want to cage it because I'm using all my cages to hide my plants from the chickens. And I still haven't seen tomatoes, but I'm enjoying the plant. And you can see, look what I see, chicken feathers. So I'll definitely get a lot better harvest if I can keep these silly ladies and their boyfriend in the cage. And I think they have gotten all but one of my winged beans. I'm not happy about that either. Let's see. I think we'll go around this way. I don't want to go around through the middle of my beds because there is hornets there that got me on my leg, and then y'all, that ended up giving me cellulitis as well. So that was no fun. But this is a monster eggplant, and it's got flowers, and I've been seeing flowers for a while, and I'm hoping it's the huge one. I had like a 5-pound eggplant last year. I'll try to link that video below, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be what it is. And this, I always forget the name of it. Basil, spice basil? Blue spice? I think it's blue spice. But it is just spilled all the way down the bed and just looks amazing. Smells amazing. It is just lovely. I've been feeding this to the rabbit too because I just don't know what else to do with it. There's only so much I can do. Is this a pepper plant? Y'all, that looks like a pepper plant growing in here. I did not grow peppers over here. I don't understand. But that sure looks like a pepper plant. Anyway, I've been slowly but surely pulling all this extra basil. You can see it's starting to bud, and a lot of this has gone to seed. So I'm mainly pulling like one plant, all their stuff off, and then I go to the rabbit and give her a whole bunch of rabbit food, and then I can work on having those plants pulled up. At least I want to top them so the other things I have growing in here can grow. I've got some jicama in here. All you can see is the little strings. I'm hoping they'll plump up a little bit because they're a bit small, but I need to harvest those soon. And then I have a lovely little pepper section right here. And I mean little. I'm not having the biggest peppers this year, but we aren't going to complain. Anything we get this year is gold because, you know, slacker gardener this year. But you can see these plants are just loaded with peppers, and I am very happy about that. And here's another barricade because I have sweet potato growing in there, and that is what that vine was that we saw coming off the fence. Oh look, I got another lovely one there. Cutesy. But anyway, I have a lot of sweet potatoes I'm gonna have to harvest before frost, and a lot of things to get done. I had to come back and look at them. I just love them. They make me so happy, and they're so easy to care for. Y'all, you feed them the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th month with fertilizer, and water them when the leaves are droopy, and that's about it. I put them up in the greenhouse because I have that, and before I've put them just under cover where they wouldn't get frozen. And some people even dig them out of the dirt, shake off the dirt off the roots, and throw them in a closet. That's how easy. You can literally just throw them in a closet and they are fine all winter long. Plant them out in the spring, start watering them, and they come right back. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate your time. I truly do. If you have other videos you want to check out, I'll link some. It'll be a little pop-up screen for you at the end of the video. And remember your skeeter spray when you come outside. Until next time, love you. Bye-bye.